Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Media Raptor, and I'm back with another comic update. So, a while ago I published a video showing you all my comics. Well, a lot of people liked that video, so I decided I'd make another one. No idea where I'm gonna start. I'll just start with box number 1. Tales from the Green Lantern Corps, Issue 1. Superman, Issue 44. The infamous Superman, Issue 75. The Death of Superman. Superman 76, I believe. I never opened this one. Batman Dark City, or Batman Issue 454. Superman in Action Comics, Issue 0. Batman, Issue 432. Justice League, Issue 21 of the New 52 run. Detective Comics, Issue 603. Blackest Night, Issue 1. Love this story. This is the only one I have, but I love this story. Robin Rises Alpha, or Robin Alpha Rises, the one-shot. Harley Quinn Invades Comic-Con. Now we get to one of my favorite parts of my collection here. I believe this is all of them. Before Watchmen, Rorschach, Issues 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, you know what? Before Watchmen, Night Owl, Issue 1. Night Owl, Issue 2. Night Owl, Issue 3. Night Owl, Issue 4. Look, if you guys don't get it, I own all the Before Watchmen comics, and I'm pretty proud of it. I don't own any of the actual Watchmen comics. I own the graphic novel. So, you know what? I'm not gonna... Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do this quick. Comedian. I own all these. Blah, blah, blah. Dr. Manhattan. Own all of them. Silk Spectre. Own all of them. You know, usually I would go through this, guys, but I don't want to waste a lot of time because there's a lot more for me to go through. Ozymandias. Really weird cover here, but I own all of these. I will say, though, the Ozymandias, I actually really liked that story despite the fact that I hated the character. But then again, he was kind of meant to be hated because he was, spoiler alert, the bad guy. Minutemen. Really fun series, actually, because you get to see the original Night Owl, the original Silk Spectre, and all that before, well, the Watchmen. Hooded Justice is still a favorite of mine. Moloch, the Mystic, he had a cameo. If you saw the movie, he was the guy that Rorschach kept going to, and he was the guy the comedian showed up before he died, and he was like drunk and was laughing and started telling him everything's a joke. Moloch. Dollar Bill. Not totally sure who this guy is. I haven't read it yet, I probably should, but still. The Uncanny Avengers, Issue 1. The Adventures of Captain America, Issue 1. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna make it a bit easier on myself. Let me just move this box. Guardians Team Up, Issue 1. I meant to pick up the others, but my local comic shop stopped carrying them right after Issue 1. Apparently they didn't sell enough. Yeah, I own this Secret Wars, Issue 1. This is the only one I own. I don't own any of the others, because they really never interested me. I bought it strictly because of the fact that it was like the big thing. I didn't want to be like the one guy who didn't have one. Deadpool, Issue 1. This isn't the one that started like a couple years ago. This is the one that just started, and it's a great issue. I loved it. The Death of Deadpool. Guys, I spent $15 or $20 on this. It was worth it. It's a 200-page Deadpool special, which literally leads up to his actual death, and it was amazing. The Uncanny Deadpool, from the whole Axis story, if you guys remember that, when Deadpool became a good guy, actually. And I'm going to say, I love this cover. Just the whole, everyone looks like Deadpool, sort of. I loved that. Deadpool X-Men? If any of you know this story, it's when Deadpool joins the X-Men. It's funny, dude. This is the only one I own, and I've been meaning to get the others, but this one's just really funny, at least this issue. I know the story, but this is just really funny. Yeah, if you guys can't tell, I'm a huge fan of Deadpool. Deadpool vs. X-Force number 1. Deadpool vs. X-Force number 2. Deadpool vs. X-Force number 3. And Deadpool vs. X-Force number 4, the complete series. And the fun thing about this is it actually takes place before Deadpool's first appearance in any of the comics, which I thought was a pretty nice touch, considering the fact that they actually, spoiler here, they end the comics story with him going back in time and actually commenting on that. Deadpool team up with Ghost Riders. Ghost Riders, I love Ghost Rider. He's probably my second favorite character in Marvel, or well, he's one of my second favorites. It's that or Wolverine. Anyhow, Avengers vs. X-Men sketch variant. It's the 6th printing. I don't care. And this is like the prelude to the story. I loved the story. I've been meaning to buy them. Don't have them yet, but I have read the graphic novel. Little Marvel, Avengers vs. X-Men. Scotty Young is a very much a favorite artist of mine, and I love when he does his own stuff, because it comes out great. Just checking something here. X-Men 92, issue 1. X-Men 92, issue 2. X-Force 92, great story. Issue 3, and X-Men 92 issue 4. I loved these. I'm not sure if they're done, or I'm not sure if it was just a 4-issue series, or if X-Men 92 is going to keep going, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. Spider-Man 2099 issue 1. Rocket Raccoon issue 1. Rocket Raccoon issue 2. Rocket Raccoon issue 3. And Rocket Raccoon issue 4. Wolverine issue 900. I don't know if they actually made 900 issues of Wolverine or if they just said that. But either way, it's cool. Codename Wolverine. This is a really cool cover because it actually opens as if he tore through here. It's kind of cool to look at. And Death of Wolverine, issue 1, first printing, foil cover. I know the story, it's the only one I own. Again, I'm sorry. But, yeah, so just give me half a second. Sorry about that, stuff came up. Anyhow, back to what I was doing. I also have Deadpool's Secret Wars, Scotty Young variant. Again, I love Scotty Young. I love his work. He is an awesome dude. That's pretty much all I can say. Let me just dump this in my box of Marvel. Well, mostly Marvel. Some DC, because I had a whole box full of DC. I had so much I had to start a second box. And I also have the Amazing Spider-Man Fan Expo variant. Convention exclusive fan, you get my point. And I also have just a bag of some old comics here, which, well, some old, some new. I'm going to go through them really quick. Power Man and Iron Fist, issue 78. Spellbound, issue 3. I don't know who this character is. Oh, cool! The Dungeons and Dragons ad. That's pretty cool, seeing an old D&D ad like that. The Saga of the Crystal Warrior. Oh, wow. Man, there's a lot of... Man, these are older than I thought. There's an ad on the back here for the Atari. Like for an Atari game. Mark Hazard, Merc. Don't know who that is, and there's a kind of a pretty funny Meatloaf comic on the back, actually. Like, that's how old it is. It's back when Meatloaf, around the time of Rocky Horror and stuff. And there's also the Free Comic Book Day, Infinity, which I have no idea what that story was about. But I'm going to go on a wild hunch here. It was about the Infinity War. Just flipping through it. Actually, never really read it. Interesting. And I have one other in here. It's Dark Horse, and I do have some Dark Horse comics. I'm just doing it now because it was in there. Star Wars Free Comic Book Day, as well as Avatar The Last Airbender Free Comic Book Day. It's a flip-over comic, and it's like 2 short stories in one. So if anybody can tell me anything about the characters, I know who Power Man and Iron Fist are. I think Power Man became Luke Cage later, I think. If anybody knows who the characters from Spellbound, Mark Hazard, or the Crystal Warrior, or the Saga of Crystar, Crystal Warrior, if anyone knows who any of those characters are, that'd be kind of good if you could let me know. Because I don't know, man. I feel kind of dumb for owning the comics, not knowing who they are. Hang on, let me just put these away. And you might have noticed a lot of all my comics are bagged and boarded, but these aren't because I usually buy comics pre-bagged and boarded, and these were just given to me in this plastic bag here. I am going to get them bagged and boarded at some point. I just haven't yet. Let me just adjust this stupid pillow. There. Moving on, we're getting on to DC Comics. Big box. I'm going to start out with Detective Comics issue 44 Fan Expo variant, autographed by the man who wrote and did the art for the comic. I forget his name, but who cares? Because that autograph is awesome, and it's actually in a case. It's up. I usually hang it on my wall, but for this, I decided to take it down. This is, I believe, the only Detective Comics comic I have, but that's mainly because there was a Fan Expo exclusive, and I'm totally buying that. Batman Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, issue 1. Batman Shadow of the Bat, issue 1 variant cover. I don't really understand a lot of the Convergence stuff, but who cares really, dude, at this point. It's over. Green Lantern Parallax, variant cover, issue 1. Green Lantern Parallax, issue 2. I enjoyed it, I enjoyed this story. We're going to see, you guys are about to see some ones that you already probably saw earlier, but who cares? Arrow, issue 1, special edition. Hang on. Arrow, season 2.5, issue 1, variant cover. The Flash, issue 1, special edition. This was also, the cover I believe was also done by the same guy who did this. And this isn't technically the first issue. It's a reprint of the first issue made for when the Flash TV show was going to air. By the way, that show is amazing. Future's End, Flash, 3D cover. I have a couple of these 3D covers and they're pretty cool. Green Lantern, New Guardians, 3D cover. Superman, Future's End 3D cover. I have no idea even what these Future's End are. I know they're all just one-shots, but who cares? You know what? They're still cool, and I have a good amount of them, and I'm pretty happy with them. Star Spangled Banner G.I. Zombie 3D cover. And of course, my bad guy homie, Sinestro, Future's End 3D cover. Now a couple of these variants I love. Like this one. I don't know which issue this is. It's from May this year, but it's a really cool movie poster variant of Sinestro, and I think it looks awesome. Hang on, let me just... These comics don't want to stay up. Sinestro, number 7, Lego variant. The first annual for Sinestro. I bought this because it was going to tie into the Lobo comics, which sadly have been cancelled, and they're going to wrap up the story. Or they're just going to cut it and let it die. I don't know. Justice League, issue 36, Lego variant. Another movie poster variant. I'm not sure if I can actually show this one, but whatever. Justice League. Magic Mike variant. I call it Magic Mike because that's obviously what it is. Okay, no point jumping around it. Okay, so I do own another Detective Comics, Batman Detective Comics Lego variant. Alright, now we're getting to the good stuff. And let me just do this. Hope that won't work. Man, I really should have thought about this ahead of time. Lobo, New 52, Issue 1. Lobo, New 52, Issue 2. Lobo, New 52, Issue 3. Lobo, New 52, Issue 4. Lobo, New 52, Issue 5. Lobo, New 52, Issue number 6. You know what? I'm just going to do it this way. It's faster and easier for me. Lobo New 52, Issue 7. You guys may notice a pattern here. Lobo New 52, Issue 8. Lobo New 52, Issue 9. Lobo New 52, Issue 10. I don't own Issue 11 or 12 or 13. I've been meaning to pick them up. I just haven't been able to yet. The Lobo Annual. First one, and probably the only one. Now we're going back in time to the Lobo 4-part mini-series, the first issue. Lobo's first Fraggin issue in his monthly series, including the shiny variant on the shiny thing on his crotch. As weird as that sounds. Now guys, this is easily one of my all-time favorite comics. I bought the graphic novel. I usually don't buy a comic and a graphic novel, but I bought the graphic novel, then I bought the comic, and I haven't really opened the bag to the comic because it's an old comic and I'm trying to keep it in like good condition and stuff, like because I'm a total nerd. It is the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special. Bag, boarded. I own the graphic novel, which contains this, and it contains the entire series of the Authority versus Lobo. This is Jingle Hell, which is part 1. There was a second one, Spring Break Massacre, I believe. Lobo's back. Oh wait, that's part 4. What are they doing out of order? Lobo's back, part 3. Lobo's back, part 4. Pretty funny series. I don't own parts 1 and 2, but meaning to. This was actually Lobo, the 3D Villains Month variant, when he took over Justice League. This was actually the first time that the New 52 Lobo appeared, I believe. Jumping back in time, I don't know what this series is from, but Brave and the Bold, Supergirl, and Lobo. Really funny issue, to be honest. Now, Supergirl New 52, issue 26, with Lobo. Batman Superman New 52, issue 17, the one with Lobo. Variant cover. Deathstroke issue 9. You guys probably get where this is going. Deathstroke issue 10. Deathstroke issue 11. And Deathstroke issue 12. Otherwise known as the Lobo Hunt story. Now we're getting into my favorite comic series, the Injustice comics. Injustice Gods Among Us, issue 5. And Injustice Gods Among Us, issue 6. This is before year 2 and stuff, and these are the only 2 I own. I am going to pick up the others because I want to get the complete collection. But what's important about issues 5 and 6, it is actually the... this isn't a spoiler, the game's been out for like almost 3 years now, you should know this. This contains the death of Dick Grayson as Nightwing. And no, that's not a spoiler, they said it pretty clearly in the game, I don't feel bad for telling you. It's not my fault if you haven't played the game. It's like only a 2-hour story. Injustice Gods Among Us Annual number 1. The one with Lobo. I really want them to bring him back. Because Lobo is an awesome character and I really wish they would use him more. Injustice, Gods Among Us Year 2, Issue 9. I missed the first 8 issues before I jumped on the bandwagon. Issue 10, Year 2, Injustice. This was actually the first issue I ever bought. And it actually also explains when Hal Jordan went from being a Green Lantern to a Yellow Lantern. Again, not a spoiler. Issue 11. And the finale of Year 2, Issue 12. And then the annual for Year 2. Then, you know what? This is just gonna make it easier for me. We just set those all there. You guys probably have you guys can probably tell where this is gonna go. Injustice, Gods Among Us, Year 3, Issue 1. Year 3, Issue 2. Year 3, Issue 3. Injustice Year 3, Issue 4. Year 3, Issue 5. Year 3, Issue 6. Year 3, Issue 7. Year 3, Issue 8. Year 3, Issue 9. Year 3, Issue 10. By the way, Year 3 was probably the weakest in the Injustice series. Just my opinion, just being honest. Issue 11 of Year 3. And, of course, Issue 12 of Year 3. And, of course, Injustice Gods Among Us Year 3 Annual. I really liked this story because it actually told us what happened to the Teen Titans. And why none of them, aside from Raven, appear in the game. Justice Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 1. Justice Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 2. Year 4, Issue 3. Or as I like to call it, the God Saga. Justice Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 4. Gods Among Us Issue 5. Year 4, Issue 5. Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 6. Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 7. Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 8. Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 9. Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 10. And Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 11. And finally, Gods Among Us Year 4, Issue 12. Now if you're asking, where's Year 4's annual? It hasn't come out yet, at least at the time of this filming. And I am most certainly going to pick up a copy because I want to see, because you know what? I'm so close to having a complete set. It's a nerd thing. Mortal Kombat X, Issue 1, Sketch Variant. Mortal Kombat X, Issue 2. Mortal Kombat X, Issue 3. Mortal Kombat X, Issue 4, the complete Blood Ties story. Mortal Kombat vs. Mortal Kombat X, Issue 5. Mortal Kombat X, Issue 7. 6, I mean. And I don't own any of the others, and I know they're up to like Issue 12, so I do want to buy them at some point, but right now I got other comics which I've been reading. Again, another series I started but didn't finish was Batman Arkham Knight, Issue 1. Batman Arkham Knight, Issue 2. Batman Arkham Knight, Issue 3. And Batman Arkham Knight, Issue 4. Now, the main reason why I don't have any of the others is because I didn't like the Arkham Knight story. Like, I think the game has an awesome story, don't get me wrong, and I think Arkham Knight as a character has an awesome story, and I like that they gave him his own series. But truly, the Arkham Knight prequel story was kind of weak, at least in my opinion. And Green Lantern Lost Army, Issue 1. I don't own any of the others. Someone gave this to me, so hey, it's free. And The New Titans, Issue 81. That came in the bag. It's the only one I've boarded so far. Now, let me just put this away. Now, let's finish this up with my last box. I have JLA, Justice League of America vs. Predator. Batman vs. Predator, Issue 1. Batman vs. Predator, Issue 2. Batman vs. Predator, Issue 3. Batman vs. Predator, Issue 2, Issue 1. Batman vs. Predator 2, Issue 2. Batman vs. Predator 2, Issue 3. And Batman vs. Predator 2, Issue 4. Now we're getting into some of my really strange comics in this collection, and believe me, that's saying something considering some of the comics I own. Archie vs. Sharknado. This is a variant cover, and I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but it's autographed by the guy who did the cover and the story. Archie vs. Sharknado, again, the same issue, the one-shot. I bought this one so I bought this one first. Now, there was one other Archie crossover this year. It was Archie vs. Predator. This is the Fan Expo 4CG variant edition, and it's autographed by both the writer and artist of the story and the artist of the variant cover. Now this one is another variant cover for Archie vs. Predator Issue 1, and it is also autographed by the guy who did the cover and the art and the story, I believe. Or at least, I know he did the story. This is the basic cover for Archie vs. Predator Issue 1, autographed. Archie vs. Predator Issue 2, autographed by both the cover artist and the writer. Archie vs. Predator Issue 3, autographed by both the artist and the cover artist and the writer. And finally, Archie vs. Predator Issue 4. And it also is still autographed by the guy who wrote and did the art. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meets Archie. Now, for the record, guys, I don't want you getting any ideas. I don't like Archie a lot. I really think it's a really stupid comic. But when you're doing a crossover with Sharknado, Predator, and the Ninja Turtles, I gotta give it a shot, man. And they were fun, at least. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, the comic book adaptation. Alien vs. Predator, Issue 1. Aliens, Issue 1. And finally, perhaps the most bizarre comic I own. Hack and Slash vs. Chucky. Versus Chucky, yeah. I own it. And it's a pretty good story. I like Hack and Slash now because of this comic. Anyhow, you guys, that is my updated comic book collection. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Feel free to just, if you guys know any of the guys I mentioned before, just let me know. And until next time, this is the Meteor Raptor saying keep cool, and I will see you guys around. Later.